Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call this meeting to order. The time is 7:30. This is the regular council meeting for August 25th. Clerk, can you please do a roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem Bliss.
I'm here.
Councilman Fleming.
Here.
Councilman Muir.
Here.
Councilor Rohrbach. Here. Councilman Soltis.
Here.
Councilor Wright.
Here.
Mayor Grafstein.
I'm here, thank you. The invocation and pledge this evening will be led by Councilman Muir. I invite you to stand if you would like.
Let us pause for a moment of reflection. We gather today as stewards of our community, entrusted with the responsibility to serve, to listen, and to lead with integrity. May we approach this meeting with open minds and open hearts, guided by wisdom, compassion, and the shared commitment to the common good. May our discussions be thoughtful, our decisions be just, and our actions reflect the values and hopes of those that we represent. Let us remember that progress is built not only on policy, but on respect, collaboration, and the courage to do what is right. In gratitude for the opportunity to serve, let us begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. First up this evening is approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions this evening? All right, seeing none, we're going to go into presentations. We're going to make a slight change. We're going to do the HREC presentation for the Juneteenth Scholarship first. Okay. So we're going to not do a change. We're going to do the library card sign-up month design contest winners in order, and we'll see if when she arrives, we will put her next then. All right, so Vanessa, please go ahead.
Hello. This September, the Madison Heights Public Library invites everyone to celebrate Library Card Sign-Up Month and discover how a single card can open the door to endless opportunities. With the library card, you can do more than check out books. With book discussions and movie matinees to streaming media and hotspot lending, the library connects Madison Heights to information, inspiration, and each other. And in honor of Library Card Sign-Up Month, 2 new library card designs are debuting at the library. The cards were designed by local teens Liliana Lowers, who is here tonight, and Chloe Brown, who unfortunately couldn't make it. And this was during the Color Our World Library Card Design Contest, a part of this year's all-ages summer reading program. And to get one of these cards, which I brought large copies here today, and we're going to give these large cards to Liliana, and then we'll get the other one to Chloe. And but to get one of these cards in a normal size, people can stop by the library during September for Library Card Sign-Up Month. So with that, I'd like to congratulate the winners of the Library Card Design Contest, Liliana Lowers and Chloe Brown. So.
Thank you. And now we're going to do the HREC presentation for the Juneteenth Scholarship.
Thank you for your patience.
Sorry, can you hold on one second? The mic's not seem to be working. Thank you for letting us know. Give us 1 second and we're just. All right, is this better? Can you hear now?
Just be sure you talk right into the microphone. Got it. Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for your patience. It's my honor to present this year's Juneteenth Scholarship Award, which recognizes not only the academic achievement, but also a deep understanding of the meaning of Juneteenth, which is freedom, resilience, and the ongoing pursuit of justice. This year's recipient, demonstrated exceptional insight into the significance of Juneteenth and what it represents for our community and our nation. Please join me in congratulating Aji, everyone, for their extremely thoughtful reflection of inspiring vision for the future. Personally, I would like to say that we read a lot of submissions for this scholarship, and this is our first year doing it, and it makes me really excited to be able to actually see how we're giving back to the community in a very thoughtful way, and to be able to give to our next generation of people who will give back to Madison Heights as well. I'm really excited to be able to give this to her and acknowledge her in front of you guys, because not only does she deserve this for working so hard, but she deserves to be acknowledged for her hard work and perseverance for education. So everybody, please acknowledge how amazing she is and how resilient she is. And honestly, that essay was awesome. So do we want to do photos right now? The shoes does have to go back to school, so.
Do you want to do a photo with council?
Yes, please.
Just go stand up.
Should I go in the front? All right, Dave, you and I in the back.
Okay, next up, we have meeting open to the public. This is the opportunity for the public to speak. I ask that you give your name, address, any affiliation with the city. Keep your comments to 3 minutes, address me, and you are welcome to come to the podium. With that, I'm going to open public comment. Anyone wishes to speak?
Jim Capizzo, Illinois, Madison Heights. Are these new garbage containers, can we use those now, or are we supposed to wait until October?
You can use them now. October 6th, they will be the only ones available to be used, but you can use whatever you've been using or the new ones until October 6th.
Martha Covert, Edward Avenue, Madison Heights. There are facts that have to be told. You don't have to like them. You don't have to like me for bringing them, but they need to be out there. When Quinn said that there were rules for him and not anyone else, I thought, wow, that's really strange, because it seems to be there are rules we have to follow, but you don't. The endorsement, in an endorsement that you were given, you said you would hold people accountable. You didn't even hold yourself accountable with the permit that was supposed to be gotten for a barbecue that was shoveled away. There was a 5K event, it was a city event. Running for office, you know you cannot wear political garb to that event as the candidate. You did. In the 5K, they had to wash it out when they posted that picture. And then instead of just letting it go, you had the audacity to use the picture that you broke policy on in a newspaper article. Social media policy by this council says you cannot use your personal page to post anything about your campaign.
Sorry,
if
ma'am,
people are,
can you address it to me?
oh, I'm sorry. If people are blocked, you can't. Things have been posted about his campaign. I'm blocked on his page. But the biggest problem I have is when you're elected, all of you, you raise your right hand, you swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of Michigan, and the Charter of Madison Heights. You broke that charter when you accepted the police endorsement, FOP, because you know the police department had to give the recommendation to the FOP. According to charter, employees cannot be involved in city campaigns. If they are, they shall be terminated so by you using that endorsement, letting these employees of the city give you the endorsement, you broke the charter, therefore breaks your oath. By doing, you can't say he didn't know. No, that's not true. This council went through the charter and brought charter things you wanted changed to the charter committee, which I was part of. So you've been through the charter, you know what's there. I don't want to hear that, well, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. Our charter is our founding document. If you break it and nothing, there's no justification for breaking it, but if you do, you should be held accountable. I don't think, and people will get upset at this, but I don't think you should be able to continue your candidacy as mayor when you've broken the charter. That's the document that you sit in that seat on. Now, people, again, facts are facts. You don't have to like me for saying them. You don't have to like that they're there, but they are in fact facts. Therefore, what I'm asking is that this council and our city attorney take these matters for consideration and a resolution. I'm requesting to hear from you within 14 days as to your decision. If not, I will be forced to seek further remedy as malfeasance has been established.
Thank you. Is anyone else wishing to speak this evening? Everyone will get a chance.
Mary Hart, Beverly Ave, Madison Heights. So good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. I'm here today to voice my concern about a pattern of behavior from Councilman Wright. I've observed him, including at the August 11th meeting, repeatedly injecting accusations of racism or bigotry into his opinions. I believe it's important to distinguish between a genuine difference of opinion and a personal attack. Residents and fellow council members should be able to disagree with council members' views or have even negative interactions with them and not be labeled a racist or a bigot. Now, my personal experience suggests Councilman Wright's attempts to connect the residents are merely for show. While he is cordial to me when I'm working the polls on election day, this courtesy appears disingenuous. There's at least 3 occasions, and one when I was representative to a meeting from the Madison Heights Board of Education. When I said hi, tried to address him, he just looked at me and ignored me. And I'm not the only one. I am a precinct delegate. I do talk to other members of my community, and this is kind of common, unfortunately. I am disheartened that a person who claimed in a 2021 Zoom council meeting that he views our city as racist and who now sees racism apparently in any criticism of his actions believes he can represent us fairly. His approach does not represent me, and I do not believe it serves our community well. While the positions of mayor and city council are designed to be nonpartisan, Councilman Wright's actions do suggest a highly partisan approach. His divisive views make him unfit to represent our city as a councilman or as a mayor. In fact, I'm very curious to see if in the meeting wrap-up that he's posted on his Facebook page, if he's going to once again default to saying that any criticism that we have of him tonight is bigoted or racist. And I thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Anyone else wishes to speak this evening?
Good evening, everyone. I'm a Madison Heights resident of 40 years. At the August 11th, 2025 City Council meeting, it was mentioned by Mr. Quinn Wright that Facebook groups are racist. I would like to ask him, why then does he continue to use this platform in his run for mayor? It would seem that he would refrain from using a platform that he has had such issues with. Is the platform racist, Mr. Wright, or is it that whenever someone disagrees with you on it, they are automatically deemed racist? I see the game that is being played here, and so do many others. I personally am exhausted with this race obsession, and anyone with a lick of self-respect in this community should be getting tired of being called disparaging names. In my 40 years in Madison Heights, I never remember an elected official publicly saying this about the residents. No, the city citizens are not seeping through their pores racist. City Council meeting, June 14th, 2021, at the 59-minute mark, and white supremacists, May 23rd, 2022, at the 1 hour, 5-minute mark. If you are looking for a society where everyone agrees with you all of the time, you are looking for a utopian society that cannot and will not ever exist. With blight in the city, human trafficking in the city, et cetera, we don't need a council member or candidate for mayor who is so consumed by social justice issues that his or her ability to govern is compromised on issues that affect the health, safety, and wellness of the community. Let me share the following quote with you, as I have in the past, is one of my favorites of all times. Our world is not divided by race, color, gender, or religion. Our world is divided into wise people and fools divide themselves by race, color, gender, or religion. Nelson Mandela. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak this evening?
I just have a question.
If you would like to speak, you have 3 minutes at the podium. Thank you.
The mic's not working.
It's mine. Okay. All right, you have 3 minutes at the podium. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with the mics.
No,
We all
that's
need to
okay.
use our outside voices.
I just have a question on the garbage cans. I had a couple elderly neighbors ask me how they're supposed to take such a large container to the curb, and if there's anything that we can do as a community or the city to help and aid the elderly in taking such, I mean, they're large for me. I'm only 5'7", but they're like, 5 feet tall? So the elderly, is there anything that we haven't planned for them? Or can any of you come up with an idea? I'm willing to also help, in helping the elderly move such containers if necessary.
So we do have a form that they can fill out. They can come to the city manager's office, or they can call and we can mail it to them. So if someone's disabled or they're unable to take it to the street and they don't have anybody to do it for them, they can do that. Priority Waste will actually go get it and take it to the curb for them.
Okay, and the other question was, where are we at on the legal issues from the last company that we were dealing with that was taking care of our trash? Has that been resolved?
I'm not sure what legal issues you're talking about.
We have a new garbage company because of legal issues before.
No, it wasn't because of legal issues. GFL actually sold to Priority Waste last June, so we originally had planned this rollout for last summer. But then in June, GFL actually sold themselves legally to Priority Waste, so Priority Waste assumed their customers. So we were forced into this relationship with Priority Waste, and then we actually did an RFP for services in February-March timeframe, and Priority Waste was the only company that bid on that.
What I meant by legal issues were the other company that came in refused to honor the contract of your last company on some pickups and stuff like that. So if everything's been resolved,
I mean, there wasn't any legal issues with GFL. We, had problems with them, of course, but there was no legal issues with them back and forth. And that wasn't the reason they're no longer here.
Okay, but as far as the contractual, the issue with the garbage cans for the elderly, or I can get a phone number to help them,
They can reach out to the city manager's office.
city managers?
Yeah. reach
Yeah,
out to the
or they
city-
can call the DPS, either one. We can either mail the form or they can come in, we can help them fill it out.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other questions, comments from residents, public? No. All right, then I am going to close public comment, and we're going to move to the consent agenda. So we have 3 items on the agenda this evening. We have from the city clerk, the boards and commission appointments from council, and the board and commission appointments from mayor. We also have the regular council meeting minutes from the council meeting from August 11th. There is one change I would like to make to the consent agenda for the mayor appointments, and that is, there's only one appointment that's going to be this evening, and that is for Ryan Fox to the Planning Commission. So I just want to make sure that all of council has that change. The other 2 appointments are not happening tonight. So if there's any questions about that, I'd like to get a motion to approve the consent agenda, please.
Your Honor, motion to approve the consent agenda as amended by your comment.
All right, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor, support.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, so I'm just going to make the comment. One of the reasons that this has been amended is that the DDA is a mayor's appointment, and we've been working to have more appointments be council appointments where we can. DDA needs to stay as a mayor's appointment. A couple of years ago, the DDA changed what we were doing, and we are now having the DDA make a recommendation to the mayor. And at our last meeting, what we decided was that the person who we were going to appoint, we wanted them to come to a meeting so everybody could meet them first. So that's just been pushed off for a bit. So I have said that I would take that off the appointment list. So if there's no further discussion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. That's a no. Motion carries. And with that, I invite closing comments from Councilman Meir.
Thank you, Your Honor. School's back in session today, so please watch out for the children out there on the street. I know there's still some construction going on, so use a little patience in those areas. I think the plan for 11 Mile to be open for two-way traffic is in another 2 or 3 weeks, so again, be patient with that. Our final Arts Board concert is coming up this week, so that will be on Wednesday. So come out and check that out. Trail Tunes is rapidly approaching. Mayor Pro Tem Bliss will go on to describe that a little bit more. We had a Paint in the Park last week that I unfortunately had to miss, but I hear it was a big success, and they're looking to plan another date to do another one. So I don't have that date off the top of my head yet, but check the Arts Board page. We're going to be doing another one of those since it was such a big success. So, as you heard, some of the questions about the trash cans. I arrived home at 2 o'clock this morning from vacation and found the trash cans in my driveway, so that was a welcome sight. I know there'll be a bit of a challenge for some of us. I myself am somewhat handicapped, so it'll be a learning experience. It certainly will be better and can help solve some of the problems that we're having with priority. A lot of the complaints of picking up trash at 10 o'clock at night, using the cans should make that go quicker. Everyone on my street, except for one house, has cans, and a couple weeks ago, they were running a little bit late. There's about 13 houses on my street, and they had one of the trucks come through that can pick up the cans, and he did all 13 houses in less than 2 minutes. And then just had one person had to go out and grab the bag from my next door neighbor. So it will make it quicker. I know there's going to be a little learning curve getting used to maneuvering them. City Manager Marsh mentioned we do have a program for assistance if you need it. And be kind and help your neighbors. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Bliss?
Yes, Your Honor. First, I want to congratulate our library card design contest winners and our winner of the Juneteenth Scholarship. It is always incredible to award young folks in our community doing great things. And I was excited to see that on the agenda today. Just wish that they would have had the designs up on the big screen and everything. So hopefully we can get those and publish on Facebook. I, for one, need to get one of those dragon library cards. That looks really cool. Looking forward to having that in my wallet. Other thing that I wanted to mention today, we did the boards and commissions. We changed, I don't know, maybe like 3 years ago, out of efficiency to doing it on a twice a year. And then it was changed, I think, a year ago now, where we put it into the consent agenda. My question to staff, and this isn't urgent, but I do have a little bit of a shot clock. It would be great to know if we can set up a policy to where they can be put on the consent agenda throughout the year. Some of these vacancies and boards and commissions can sometimes sit for 6 months, depending on when they file their application. And so things like the Arts Board, that could always use more volunteers. I think we put on new member of the Arts Board in with this boards and commissions appointment, having the ability to potentially do that in the consent agenda more frequently during the year. And it doesn't have to be every month, but just more frequently, so that way when we do have a bench of volunteers ready to get involved, we can enlist them and get their help as quickly as possible. So I don't know what the extra lift would be. I certainly don't want to add any more work into the clerk's office, particularly with election season coming down the line pretty quickly. But it would be good if we had some sort of a mechanism in place to be able to fill those appointments closer to when they come in, as opposed to just the 2 times a year. Final couple things. It was mentioned about Trail Tunes and the concert in the park coming up. Both of those are put on by volunteers in the Arts Board, myself, Mr. Mayor, other members of the Arts Board. And I think if we want that type of thing to continue in the city, it's important for all of us to come and support it. This is the very last summer concert in the park on Wednesday night. Absolute incredible oldies, like classic rock band, Dr. Smith. If you don't have it on your schedule right now, please put it on there. And if you can't make Wednesday night work, maybe you can join us on September 6th, all afternoon for Trail Tunes. We have bands all throughout the park, some phenomenal musicians, and the top two, as voted on by the public, are going to go head-to-head in our Battle of the Bands right at the end of the night. So please come out and support those things. Go enjoy the DIA installed art in all of our parks. Go enjoy Revan in the Heights, which I'm sure you'll hear about in a minute. Because if you don't, the volunteers are going to stop doing it. And this is very much like the old Kevin Costner quote, "If you built it, they will come." We need to build it. We need to show that this is a priority for the city. And then maybe we'll be able to get back to a time when the city had 3 summer festivals in the park, all attended with thousands of people each festival back in the day. That's what I grew up with here, and I'd love to see us get back to that. And it all starts with showing up when we have any type of a festival or a summer concert series or any of those types of programs. Also, if you're there and you see members of the Arts Board working a table or something, thank them. There's a lot of time, effort, and even money put in by volunteers in order to put this stuff on. So, as a resident myself, I'm incredibly appreciative of their efforts, and I hope you'll join me in that as well. Last thing, we had a remarkably long, I think historically long, somebody's got to check the records on this, Planning Commission meeting last week. Lasted 5 hours. A couple of those things are coming to council. One I know is being pushed to the second meeting in September, but the one that's coming to the meeting of the 8th, I won't be here. That's my 40th birthday. Sorry, I'm not going to celebrate it with all of y'all. I have a concert to go to. But if it needs to be that day and it can't move, if you could have somebody share very detailed notes of the discussion from the Planning Commission. I think I was the only member that was there, so I want to make sure that council, as they're voting on that, has as much of the back and forth as possible. Or if we could invite maybe our chair from the Planning Commission to be at that meeting and give some remarks. But I think that would be able to help, because it was several hours of discussion, including a full room, more people in the room than this. I had to take a chair from up here and wheel it down for a resident. So I just want to make sure that that's encompassed as much as we can in the discussion as it hits council. That's it, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Wright?
Thank you. Revan in the Heights, September 13th. If you're around, I want to encourage you to come on out. These posters are going up into our sponsor's window. So for all the folks on TV who are watching this, I encourage you to come out, and I encourage you to support the event. We're still looking for sponsors, but more than sponsors, we're looking for cars. So come on out for that. So I wanted to address that, and I'm going to do something I don't normally do, which is I'm going to address the public comments, because I think transparency is crucially important, and I want to be clear. The clip that they're referring to is the old city council meeting where I was speaking in defense of September 14th. Some have edited that clip to make it seem as though I was calling the entire city something I was not. I do not. I denounce racism, bigotry, and prejudice, period. I do not. I think that our residents have sound mind and sound judgment. At the same time, we were defending actually putting on Juneteenth because some members in the audience now and who are watching were asking, why should we throw a Juneteenth in Madison Heights? Isn't that prejudice? And that's what I was defending. And there were also members of an organization in this community which is known for its prejudice, who have been members of this community for decades, who were speaking against Juneteenth. And that is not okay in my book. It will never be okay. And if you are okay with that, that is your prerogative. However, I will not stand for prejudice and racism and bigotry. I don't care how long you've known them. I don't know if you know them care if you know them by a first name, a second name, or a third name. I think the residents in the city are fantastic people, and I think that we all need to challenge our own bias of how we see each other and see other people. Since my time being on council, I've felt an incredible amount of scrutiny, more than my peers, by far. And it's not fair, and it's okay, because it's a burden that I carry. At the same time, I will never stop speaking out against prejudice and racism and bigotry in and out of our city. And I'm sorry if it's uncomfortable for others, but as one of two people of color in this room, sometimes we're all a little bit uncomfortable. So I encourage anyone who has an issue with what I said to talk to me directly. The Facebook groups are trash. People can say whatever they want without fact-checking them. They can just spew whatever they want. There's no ability to have a meaningful conversation through social media. If you want to get to know me, please come talk to me as a council person or any other way. But please know this. Before you turn me into a caricature, know that I am a father, I am a husband, and I'm a child of God. Remember that. I am done.
Mr. Sherman, anything this
No
evening?
comments this evening. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mrs. Marsh, anything, city manager?
Actually, yes, before the Wednesday concert in the park, Consumers Energy is coming out for this neighborhood fest that they are bringing to our community. It's going to be from 5 to 7, so they will have food trucks, entertainment for kids. I understand they're also going to have a band, so it'll be a night of music and great utilization of the band shell, which should be great, so let's hope for wonderful weather. They are doing that because they have extensive infrastructure upgrades that they are bringing to our community over the next 2 to 3 years. So it is a way for you to ask about their projects and to see where the money's going. So I saw a Facebook comment that they would rather have a rate reduction. That just isn't going to happen. So, we're going to get what we can get from them, and that is this neighborhood festival. So I encourage you to come out at 5 and stay until the last concert's over. That's it.
Thank you. Anything from the clerk's office this evening?
Just real quick, that if you are not on the permanent ballot list, but you'd rather get an application for an absentee ballot, those have been mailed out, so you should have yours by now. If you have already applied for the permanent ballot list, the ballots will be mailed out the very end of September, so you should look for those the first week of October. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Rohrbach?
Thank you. Most of what I had on my list, welcome back to school, Revenant in the Heights, Juneteenth Scholar, like all my stuff was taken, so I'm not going to stand here and talk about it. I just want to say, if any of us have been on or have been monitoring the Facebook groups that are out there the recent weeks, it's been a real hard time for the reputation of council for a lot of reasons. People are unsure and unhappy with some choices that have been made over the last year or two, right? Like things don't happen like 1 week and then you see it happening on the street the next week. And I understand that. We're never going to always agree about every single thing. I believe, I don't agree with everybody on council all the time. We just don't. And that's okay. I think it's important for us to not agree on things and to have a lively discussion. Because we in the city have differing views and always will. And that's fine. We need to have those differing views so that we can have, and a place to have a civil discussion. That being said, Facebook is often not the place to have a civil discussion. I often find myself saying, I'm not going to comment on this thread about the 11-mile streetscape because it's just going to turn into something ugly. Not that I don't have answers, because I do, but it turns, if you guys have all seen it, I'm sure. So all that being said, I would love to talk to you. If you have real questions about what is going on, how decisions were made, anything like that, please reach out to myself or anybody on this council, because we have answers. We have background, we have our thought process, we can talk about that, and we want to. We do want to talk about those things and would love to kind of have a sit down and talk about it. I believe all of us have our business cards out under our pictures in the hallway there. Grab our card, it has our emails on it. I think on the website, all of our emails are on there. You can contact us that way. And, you know, I know, I speak for myself, but I am pretty sure about every member of council here. You know, we would love to have a chance to talk to you in depth about whatever issues you are running into. So that's all I have tonight. And welcome back to school, everybody who came back today. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Fleming?
Nothing for tonight.
Councilman Soltis? All right, falls on me. Okay, so I agree, I think, with Pro Tem Bliss's suggestion to add to the consent agenda the appointments. Just to give a quick history, what used to happen is there would be a vacancy, and so just at a random meeting, it'd be, oh, we're adding a person or two to this, or a person to this, and a person to that. And it was just very discombobulated, and we did a lot of streamlining to make our boards as uniform as we could. And we came up with, let's do twice-a-year appointments, which we did. And then, I think it was about a year ago, we said, we don't really have a lot of discussion on these. Why don't we put them in the consent agenda? So this is to streamline. These have all come about to streamline the way that we do things. There are things that we need to have in-depth conversations about. We need to have in-depth conversations and back and forth. But generally, when we're making an appointment to a board or commission, that's not a time to do that. We just, and it may be in the future that they are going to be in-depth conversations, but for my experience, they really aren't. So I am fine adding those into the consent agenda, either as needed or once a month or however, because it's true. And I know that for my part, we have had with the DDA, where we have said, okay, I'm not going to make this appointment because the DDA would like to meet this person before we appoint them. You know, before I say I'm going to appoint this person, I want them to come. We want to see what they're about. And then if they miss that window because we're not doing appointments for 6 months, we're not appointing them. So I'm on board with that in the way that would be the least amount of work for the clerk's office. So I just want to say that on that. With respect to one of the comments that was made at public comment tonight, we do have a social media policy. Council members may not block residents. I believe, because this has not come about for probably about 4 years now since I've had anyone bring this to my attention, when we came up with the policy about 4 years ago. I believe that every single member of council is aware of this policy. So I'm just going to make this as a public reminder. If you are an elected official in Madison Heights and you are using social media, you cannot block people. If you don't like what they have to say, ignore it, scroll on. It is viewpoint discrimination, and if we are blocking, we can put ourselves and the city into legal predicament, which is why we came up with this. And again, it's been about 4 years since I've had anyone mention this to me. So just everyone keep that in mind. And then along those lines, the city cannot be seen in any way to be supporting any candidate for any office. And I don't know if this is something that we need to make a formal vote on, or if this is something that could be administrative change. But when we have our community events, when we have our city events, staff is out taking pictures. As you know, we all expect that that's going to happen. And if you go onto our social media pages, you will see pictures of all the various events that we have. if there is someone wearing some kind of outfit, holding a sign that says, vote for me, or vote for so-and-so, or anything that is political, the city cannot take that, they cannot post that picture, because then it is the city saying, oh, I'm endorsing this viewpoint. They can say you should vote. The city can post as much as they want, saying, remember to vote, you should vote, it's important to vote, but they can't say it's important to vote this way or that way. So I think perhaps the cleanest way for us to address this, because I don't know how much time it takes to go on and say, oh, I really want to post this picture of X, but this person is wearing a political outfit or holding a political sign, so now we need to take the time to blur that out. Perhaps what we do is, if there is a political sign or a political outfit, staff just doesn't post that picture. And it doesn't matter how cute the picture is or what a phenomenal picture it is, if you would just cover this or just cover that or just cover something, we don't post the picture. And I don't know if that needs to go to a formal vote, if that's something that can be done administratively. And it's just not the way that we should be doing things. Staff has better things to do with their time. Something that was brought up tonight was the recycling toters and the garbage cans. When we were going to approve this a few months ago, Pro Tem Bliss was very, very emphatic that he wanted to make sure that we have something in place for people who have a legitimate issue with these because they're disabled, because they're elderly, something like that. So, so yes, that is available. Someone just needs to reach out to the city manager's office. They can reach out to me or anybody on council. They can reach out to DPS. If they reach out, we will get them to the right place. If they post it in one of these Facebook groups, they may or may not get the right answer. So if they call one of us or reach out to one of us or the city manager's office, DPS, we will get them that form so that they can apply. And the other side of that is be a good neighbor. If you have a neighbor that you know has a difficulty, help them, you know? I mean, and I think most people do. I've seen my neighbors do that. We've done that for our elderly neighbors. But there is a formal process in place for anyone who is concerned about that. The garbage cans, the toters were delivered. I don't know that they're done yet. They should be done by the end of this week, but they started last week. And they actually, when they were delivering on my street, they stopped a block away. So next day, they came back the next day and we got ours. But everyone should have one by the end of the week. If you don't have one by the end of the week, reach out to the city. You know, I'm sure there will be one or two that we're missing for some reason or another. These things happen. Everyone should be getting them. You have about a month to adjust to using just that. And then as of October 6th, it's just that. It's just and you can use if you purchase them from GFL or they're the proper size that you purchased from someone else in the past, you can use those, or you can use the new ones that were given out to everybody. If you feel that you need more, you can reach out to the city to get another one. I know a lot of people are giving away, you know, I don't need 2 of them or I don't need 4 of them, and so they're giving them away. So if you need more, reach out to the city and they'll see what they can do to help you with that. This again, you are not being directly charged for that. This is part of grant and funding that we had. This has been in the works for a few years. It was supposed to be last year, but because of the change with GFL and Priority Waste, it got pushed off a year. With respect to the question, oh, well, I bought one, do I get a refund? The answer is no. And for the record, I bought one and I'm not getting a refund. I've had my recycling toter for 5 years. So it's halfway through its guarantee. There's a 10-year guarantee on it. And I'm going to keep using it. And if I need 2 of them, I'll use the new one. And until I use the new one, I'm just going to keep using the old one. I'm using my old garbage can, which I'm going to be throwing out the lid, which is a scary lid, and the garbage can itself has holes all over it, and I kept telling my husband, you can't get rid of it until we get our toter. We have our nice big garbage can now. We're going to be using that little garbage can with the holes for compost, for just like normal brush. So that's my suggestion to you if you are looking for something to do, but you can put it out for garbage and people will, the maintenance people will pick that up. And then finally, yeah, so council doesn't always agree. You know, we're like a family that's been pushed together, or a business that's been pushed together. We all come in with our viewpoints, but we all should be coming in with the same end goal, which is, I want to do good for my community. I want to bring good things to my community. And we may have different ideas on what that means, but that really should be our end goal. And sometimes you walk in and you say, I want this, and you get what you want. But a lot of times, you walk in and there's 7 of us saying, I want this, and they're all different. And we need to have the discussion, and we need to say, you know, there might be someone who says, I will absolutely not move on this. And if they're not going to move, then we can't compromise with them. But if they're like, well, I'm not exactly okay with that, but I'll make some changes, then we can compromise and we can get things done. And that's the only way that anything can get done. Everything that council has talked about from, like tonight, from the toters, you know, from setting up all these different boards, from having the different events, council at some point, whether it was us or previous councils, had to come together and say, I think we need a board to do this. I think we need these recycling toters. I think we need this. And a majority of council had to agree. So just keep that in mind, that it's okay to disagree, but at some point, you're going to need to compromise if we're going to get anywhere. Good luck to everyone who started school. It's going to be a change, whatever your changes, whether it's the first year that you don't have a child in school, or you've got a child who is starting school, or anywhere in between. Just remember that there are children, there are students out on the streets, and we have construction. Wherever you are, there is construction, so please be very cognizant. Some of these are little kids who are going to school for the first time. Just be really careful, especially in the mornings and the afternoons. Our next meeting is going to be, Mark will not be here, Mr. Bliss will not be here, but the rest of us should be here. It is going to be September 8th. The time is 8:16, and this meeting is adjourned. Good night.